The NFL Conference Championship weekend was absolutely fireworks for all NFL fans. If you loved the offensive side of football, it was there for you. The defensive side, definitely there for you as well. If you're a fan of those individual miraculous plays that only the best athletes in the world can do, they were all over the field, and it came down to that parity, those last-second field goals, underdogs winning, in the sense on both sides. The Chiefs started out fast versus the Bengals in the AFC Conference Championship game, but what we saw at halftime was the Cincinnati Bengals were able to make the right adjustments. They started to get that momentum in that second half. It goes into overtime, and the Bengals didn't win the easy way. Patrick Mahomes got the ball, got the chance to win the game. The Cincinnati Bengals were able to come up with a stop, get the field goal, and walk off as AFC Conference Championships and punch that ticket to Super Bowl 56, where they will see the Rams, who were sort of underdogs in their own ways. Yes, Vegas had them favored, but the 49ers were actually 6-0 in their last 6 matchups versus the Rams. The last time the Rams beat the 49ers was in like 2018. So they had their own hills to climb to get to Super Bowl 56, but who of each of these teams had the better performance? Now, we're breaking down the whole playoff performance here. So we're starting with the wild card weekend, then we're going to go to the divisional weekend, then we're going to go to the conference weekend. And we're going to break down all 3 of the performances by both teams, and we're going to decide who has actually had the better playoffs so far. Then we're going to get into that final game. We're going to give our final picks and move on and talk about different things that each team can do to get themselves to victory. Now we're going to go ahead and start off in that wild card weekend. We first have the Cincinnati Bengals versus the Raiders. Now the Raiders are the 14th ranked defense throughout the regular season. And what we saw here was the Cincinnati Bengals able to win that game 26-19. Solid win. It did come down 1 possession game. You don't like to see that too much, but hey, here we are. This season has been full of them. Why not? Now we move over to the NFC side. We have the Rams versus the Cardinals. The Cardinals actually had the 11th ranked defense, and the Rams were able to blow them out 34-11. Now I'm going to add a little keynote into here. The Cardinals were trending downwards towards the end of the season, but still the 11th ranked defense. We're going to give them that credit. 34-11, I have to say, the Rams are looking pretty good so far in my book. Now we go into week 2, and this is where we can start to differ from our opinions a little bit. That's A-okay. The number 1 ranked Tennessee Titans versus the Cincinnati Bengals. Now, the Titans are 12th ranked on defense throughout the regular season, and what we saw is the Cincinnati Bengals were able to close it out 19-16. A lot of this was the Tennessee Titans getting that bye week. I've been a proponent that the bye week has been a bad thing for teams for many of years now, and they really have been, especially this year more so than most. We saw Derrick Henry, though, was trying to get started. We see the time of play a little bit different. The score is a little bit lower. I don't want to judge that too much. Great win for the Bengals. On the other side, we have the 13th ranked defense, Buccaneers. Tom Brady and the Buccaneers. The Rams were able to win 30-27 after a close call in that 4th quarter as the Buccaneers started to gain some traction there. With that being said, they get to win. If you ask me which team was better, the Titans or the Buccaneers, I'm going to go to the Buccaneers. So I think that the Rams, through 2 weeks, have had the better performances. But now we get into that 3rd week. And I'm going to be honest with you. We're going to start on the Chiefs side. The Chiefs are the 26th ranked defense. That's going to shock quite a few people here. But what we have to get into is that the Chiefs were still favored to win the Super Bowl more than any other team of the 4 remaining at the time. Once again, the Bengals keeping it close, loving the closeness here, 27-24 in overtime, and that has to be one of the most exceptional wins I've ever seen. But we move over to the Los Angeles Rams versus the 49ers, and I already told you, 6-0 in the last 6 matchups versus the Rams. This spells kryptonite for Sean McVay and the Los Angeles Rams versus the 49ers, yet they were able to overcome somewhat close, 27-24. The 49ers had the 3rd ranked defense. Everybody knows about that defensive front and the way 49ers play defense. And so what we come down to here is I think it's a clean sweep. I think the Los Angeles Rams had the better wild card performance. I think they had the better divisional round performance. And I think they had the better conference performances. So what's the holdup here? Do we think that the Rams are automatically going to win this game? I'm going to have to say yes. I hate to do it because I love Joe Burrow. The 2nd year curse is more of an afterthought for Joe Burrow, who seems like year 2 for him every year is going to be record-setting. And here we are yet again with a record-setting performance by Joe Burrow. If he wins this, it's going to be absolutely amazing. He's stone cold. I don't expect the pressure to get to him as much as it will even get to the Rams. So I do expect the Bengals to early on look like they can hang with the Rams, but there's a lot of questions to be asked about this individual matchup. Now, what individual matchup am I talking about? I'm talking about Jamar Chase versus Jalen Ramsey. Now, many people will look back suddenly at the Cincinnati Bengals last 3 games and realize they haven't played a lockdown corner yet. And I think that will do a lot into changing the way the Cincinnati Bengals look when it's a danger to throw over to Jalen Ramsey's side. As much as these two teams are polar opposites, I feel like the Cincinnati Bengals, other than that passing offense, really seems to rely on the collective effort. You lean over to the Rams, and they've got star power all over the field. Yes, are they quite as solid up and down the roster? No, they're a little top heavy. A little side note, something to remember here is actually this is Matthew Stafford's and Joe Burrow's first time in the Super Bowl. So nerves on both sides should be elevated. But for the Rams as a team, they've been here before. Something that nobody in the Bengals organization should be able to say is they have not been anywhere close to playoffs in some time. I really want to go ahead and shout out to the Bengals here for getting this far. This is a question I have always had is what do you need to get over these, I'm a young team and I'm going to get bounced in the first round? What do you need to get past that? It's an ice cold Joe Burrow. So, looking forward, what is my final prediction for Super Bowl 56 at SoFi Stadium, February 13th? My score prediction for this matchup is 30-20 for the Rams. I will say that this has a lot of information going into it. I'm factoring in the elements such as how have they done versus certain defenses in the past versus now. I'm talking about the nerves that should be in the first quarter. I think we should see a pretty leaky first quarter and see the teams really start to pick it up and get into the game right around midway through the second quarter. With this being said, I'm going to lean on the star power. I'm going to lean on the older individuals, the ones who have been in this position before. I'm going to go Rams pretty hard, especially on that 4.5 line. That's going to be, once again, like I said, a shock to many, as the Cincinnati Bengals have absolutely captured the imagination of all NFL fans across the globe. But what we're going to see here is that this is a whole new stage. I expect Joe Burrow to be ready for it. The rest of the Bengals, that's where my question lies. Thank you so much for watching Professor Bets. This breakdown was so much fun to do. It's Super Bowl 56. I'm just excited. But there are other opportunities to bet here. My NBA, NCAA picks happen Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. They take about 15 seconds of your time. And let me tell you, just last week, we had 2 perfect videos come out. And like I said, that's 2 perfect 3-0, 15-second videos for you guys. That's how quick it can be. You can use it to bet 1, 2, or 3 of the picks and just use it how you would like to use it. Thank you so much for watching. Keep subscribing. Keep liking. You guys are absolutely the best. I'm happy to work for you guys. And you guys take care and have a great rest of your day.